evening, everybody. Welcome to USA Basketball Recap. It was our very last one for this Olympics as the women had their gold medal game this evening. We're joined as always. We got Raymond Lyons, Cardell Dudley Jr., I'm Wilson Tarpley Jr., and USA beat Japan 90-75 to capture their seventh consecutive golds. Just some things to share before we get started with Ray and Cardell in terms of what they took from tonight's game. Us 5 gold medals now for Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. They're the first man or woman to win 5 gold medals. 7 straight goals, as I mentioned, for USA women's basketball, which I believe tied a record. Brittany Griner broke Lisa Leslie's record for most points in a gold medal game on the women's side, scoring 30 points tonight. Lisa Leslie previously had the record at 29. Coach Dawn Staley, this is her first gold as a head coach, but she's been a part of 6 of the 7 gold medals for the women, be it as a player or as an assistant coach. So shout out to, I just wanted to put all those historic things that have happened on the table before we get into it. So Cardell, we'll start with you. Your initial thoughts on the women completing the job that they started.
They're front line. It started with them and it ends with them. I could just read off the numbers. Brittany Griner, 30 points on 14 to 18 shooting. Breanna Stewart, 14 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks. Asia Wilson, 19 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 blocks. That's it right there. That's game. They no team can match up with that front line throughout the entire Olympic run. And it just they were in kill mode from the opening tip. Their defense was on point. They held Japan to 36% shooting from the field, 25% from three. They had 12. The USA had 12 blocks and 7 steals. Their defense swarmed them. They didn't give Japan a chance to have life like they did in the first matchup early in the Olympics, and they just dominated them inside, man. It was so bad early on. I mean, Japan was trying to force some shots on Stewie, and Stewie's right there just playing sound fundamental defense with her arms up. She didn't even have to do nothing, and they shot right into her arms. And I was just like, this is gonna be a long night. Man. I understand Motohashi. Give her credit. She started playing with heart. Bombing away from three, and at times, they got it to single digits. You know what I mean? Where it looked like, all right, they're making it run, but then USA will calm down, just pound them inside. The high-low game between Asia Wilson and Brittany Griner was something they just couldn't match up with. Before they were kind of, predictable and where they would get the ball. So Japan, it made it easy for Japan to come with traps from their blind side and from all over the floor, but not tonight. Once they, like say, Sue Bird threw it in Asia in the high post or Brittany in the high post, whichever big got in the high post, the other big instinctively ran to the other side before the traps can even come. And obviously, the big in the high post knew exactly where they were going, made it easier to get them the ball quickly, and made it easier for that big on the low block to score inside quickly. And the times that they missed, the rare times that they missed, with Griner, she got her own tip, man. So Japan couldn't score. They couldn't stop their front line from scoring. And that's pretty much what was the game right there, man. Diana Taurasi, she didn't have to, I guess you could say, be totally in kill mode trying to score the ball. But I love the way she played an all-around game, 7 points and 8 assists, man, and 6 rebounds, man. Just facilitating and doing all the little things to ensure that they win. But also feeding the bigs. That just came from feeding Griner and Stewie Asia. It made life easy for the guards, man. And that's just what it really came down to. Japan had no answer. They were too small. They tried to, speed them up, but USA already knew what to expect, and their guards were ready for it. And if you can't speed up their guards, the bigs, it's just easy work. As Shaq would say, it was just barbecue chicken down there all night. So, kudos to USA. They got the job done, and it was expected, man. I'm pretty sure I speak for all 3 of us. None of us had any doubt that this would be the outcome.
That is a very fair assessment there, Ray.
Yeah, man, it's real simple. Team USA was just too big. We've been talking about their advantage in the front court the entire Olympic run. And I mean, this is probably the most, lopsided of all the teams, because I mean, Japan is they're just a really small team. And I mean, they scratched and they clawed, but at the end of the day, it's just nothing you can do. They said they said when they was talking about adjustments at halftime, and they came out in the third quarter, and the announcer was just like, I mean, Japan didn't go into the locker room and get any taller, so it was just gonna be the same thing. And in USA, they just went right back to it repeatedly. So yeah, man, it's just smart basketball. They had a decisive advantage in one area, and they went to it until the end of the game, and they were able to win comfortably. That's what smart teams do. That's what smart coaches do. And I expected nothing less. They got the job done. It was really never any doubt. They even with the inexperience of some of the players, for one, Asia was playing like she's been here before, so we not even count her as a newbie, because and she was tremendous the entire time. But yeah, man, it was complete domination. It is. I mean, Japan's 3-point shooting, they kind of made it semi interesting at some points, but like Cardell said, if they can't play the tempo they want and speed you up like they did to all the other teams, then it's a wrap for them. And USA, they just had all the pieces to counteract anything Japan tried to do. So yeah, man, it was pretty much a foregone conclusion from the outset of the game. They just dominated the whole way.
Yeah, like you guys said, this is the thing. Japan, some of the other teams, Japan were able to speed up. They didn't have that front court to deal with. Other teams might have had a very good front court player. They didn't have 3 dominant front court players with 3 very, very capable backups as well off the bench. You know what I'm saying? That's a totally different thing where you can fluster and deny the ball getting into one bigs, but like you guys mentioned, how many possessions do we remember where it was just the bigs passing to each other? The guards did a great job for the entry, with the entry passes and whatnot, but there was just so many possessions where, Stewie might get a rebound. She brings it across the timeline and, hey, it gets to the high post. It gets back to the low post. Kicks back out to the corner. A guard didn't even touch the ball. It was tough. And like we said, I think 2 nights ago, those are also 3 players that very comfortably in double teams. You saw Brittany in crowds at times. Here's an easy drop step. Here's a turnaround jumper. If I miss it, what's the worst? Oh, Asia Wilson's on the glass. Brianna Stewart's on the glass. Like, it's tough. And, Japan did what they could, and respect to them for fighting and clawing, just playing the one speed they know how to play the entire game. But, I think it was Kara Lawson that said it at half, like you said, right? The biggest disadvantage they couldn't do anything about. And we knew that as soon as this team landed. We've known this whole time. They played to their strengths and left with a gold medal. So, what will be fun going forward is seeing who ends up in the backcourt for USA for Paris. But we got some time between now and then. So, congrats to the USA women for finishing the job and getting a 7th consecutive gold medal. Did you guys have anything you wanted to add? All right, so before we get out of here, as always, got a quick word from folks over at Who's the Nas. And don't forget to get over to thefocustv.com. Even though the Olympics is over, the WNBA is about to get started, and I feel like it's going to be tomorrow. They say it's a break in between it, but I feel like we're not going to feel it. And then, on the NBA side of things, Summer League is already started, and then for some other teams, they get started tomorrow. So we'll have that for you guys over the FocusTV.com. As for Uzanaz, the word from them today, just a reminder, this is August. Support Black-owned businesses for National Black Business Month. As a Black-owned business, Uzanaz has been a staple in the community, serving as a safe space since its founding in 2003. Striving to preserve Black culture, Uzanaz uses their talents in the genre of soul food. The restaurant stands with those peacefully protesting injustice, fighting against hatred and racism, and working to create an inclusive community for all. Get over to oozandoz.com. Again, that's oozandoz.com to see the menu, hours and more. Don't forget these 2 locations to order from U Street or Georgia Avenue today, and we will see you guys oh so very soon.